All right, we're joined now by a man who was an All-Star, won the 1990 National League Cy Young Award, led the Pittsburgh Pirates to 3 consecutive division titles from 1990 to 92, posted a 2.05 ERA over 7 career postseason starts, and is currently the pitching coach for the Hillsboro Hops of the Northwest League, Doug Drabek. Doug, how are you today?
Fine. How are you?
Good. So let's start with your days with the Bucs. I know you've been asked this question thousands of times, but Game 7 of the '92 NLCS, you pitched a shutout into the bottom of the ninth, up 2-0. The Braves loaded the bases, and Stan Belinda came in to replace you on the mound. How excruciating was it to watch things unfold as they did from the dugout?
Well, I think for everybody it was just, hard. It just seemed like everything was set up and working our way, to go to the World Series, and it just, kind of slowly unraveled, and, it was hard to take.
Mm-hmm. And in Game 6 of the '91 playoffs, you pitched a shutout into the top of the ninth before Greg Olson doubled home Ron Gant to force Game 7. So back-to-back Octobers, you had the Pirates on the verge of the Fall Classic, but it just never came to be. When you look back on those Pirates teams, are your thoughts dominated by what might have been?
Yeah, I think we just, we had, and there again, you get into the playoffs, everybody has that type of team, but, we just thought we had the type of team that, whether it was guys coming off the bench or guys that were in the lineup and stuff, that, we had a feeling that, we were always in the game and we always had a chance. And, those last 3 years going to the playoffs, that's the feeling we had. And then, and afterwards, everybody kind of had a feeling that it was going to be, broken up.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Pittsburgh made 3 straight playoff appearances from '90 to '92, and the current club has a chance to do the same this season. However, they lost Russell Martin, a key figure both on the field and in the clubhouse. What do you expect from Pittsburgh this year?
Well, replacing, a guy like that, who's a valuable part not only on the field, but, in the dugout and in the locker room. But they've had that taste, that feeling. They a little more experienced now. They kind of have a better idea of what they need to do, and I kind of expect them to kind of be right there again, and battle and try to get into the playoffs.
Now, with your Pirates, the Braves did you in consecutive Game 7s, but for these Bucs, it's been the Cardinals. How close are they to perhaps overtaking St. Louis in 2015?
I think they're close, and I think once you get to that point, it's just it could come down to a play here or there. But I think they're close. Like I said, they have a better feeling of what they need to do. I can look back and maybe look at what went wrong, maybe, but I think they're real close.
Then you pitched very well in the postseason, but what we saw from Madison Bumgarner in last year's playoffs, even more so than his success in previous playoff performances, was extraordinary. What do you see that makes Bumgarner so special in October?
Well, I think the one thing, he just he believes in himself, and he doesn't try to do more than what he's capable of doing. I think for him, it's another game. Obviously, the circumstances are a little different, but he goes into it with the same game plan and the same mindset, and it's not get all jacked up. And it's it's playoffs, it's the World Series, and I'm gonna just go all out and stuff. And I think he stays within himself and his ability. I think the one thing for him, his ability to throw strikes with every pitch. His location was great, and like I said, he avoided making big mistakes in certain situations, and you can see what happens when you do that.
Now you're entering your 3rd season as pitching coach for the Hops, a staff that posted a Northwest League best 3.64 team ERA last season. What drew you to coaching, and what do you enjoy most about it?
Well, I like working with the kids. You're around, for me, I'm around anywhere from 18 or 19-year-olds to, let's say, 23-year-olds. So they kind of keep me young again. I kind of feel alive again. But it's fun working with them and giving them different ideas and stuff, and trying to help them tweak what will help them move up the ladder, and it's fun to see when a kid is struggling with something and he works on something different, and he catches on, and you can see it, you know, in his eyes that, hey, this I like this, it's working, and just to see them, you know, have their confidence grow, it's just fun for me.
Mm-hmm. Now, is managing at any level, let alone the major leagues, a goal for you?
Not manage it. No, I'd rather just be pitching coach. That's my, you know, my thing, and I like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, sticking with that, and you know, hopefully I can move up the ladder myself. You know, I think everybody kind of has that goal, and so we'll just see what happens.
Now, in 1992, you had 10 complete games. We won't see a major league team with 10 complete games this season. As someone who logged a lot of innings and now works with young pitchers, what's the difference between what you were able to do in terms of workload and the capability and expectation of pitchers today?
Well, I think you get a little more specialization from the bullpens nowadays, and I think they're paying more attention to the workloads for starters, and I think that's, you know, one of the things that are big differences. You'll have some guys, but I think pitch counts have become a little more. I think it was more, all right, you know, he's got this many pitches, this many innings, what does he look like? Instead of saying, okay, that, you know, that's it, whether he's looking good or not. Now, you'll have some guys that, you know, be able to go past that and stuff. And a lot of times it's going to be, you know, your stronger, maybe more experienced or a little bit older guys that are able to do that. And in the minor leagues, whether there was a pitch count or not, I'm not for sure. There probably was, but I think it was a general idea, and I think they're paying more attention to certain pitch counts, and then that's kind of it. And just to kind of avoid, because I get at my level a lot of kids out of the draft from college, and you know, they spent a lot of time looking at how much they pitched in college and what they want to hold them to, just to get them built up a little bit. And each year at each level, and I think a lot of organizations do it, you got a certain amount of innings at each level for certain kids that they want to get to. They don't want to put an overload on them, but increase them every year, you know, until they get to the big leagues. And so I think for me, like as a player, I probably didn't pay attention to it. I went as long as I could, or until they took me out, and we never really heard of pitch counts or anything like that. It's like, all right, he's got a lot of pitches, he looks tired and stuff, let's get him out. And now I think the numbers are looked at a little bit more, no matter you know, what's going on the field.
Now, Major League Baseball is hyper-focused on making the game more marketable to a younger audience and has some ideas on how to go about shortening game times. They're even considering a pitch clock at some point. What are your thoughts on efforts like that?
Well, I mean, I agree. I've always liked quick games. That was one thing I tried to make myself be a fast worker, and just to, you know, get the flow of the game going and get it over with. And you know, I agree, because there is a lot of not downtime, but time that's spent just kind of doing nothing. Yeah. Where you can get these guys going. Now, it is kind of hard to, you know, set rules. You can only do this, you can only do that, and it's probably going to take some time for some of the stuff they've got trying to integrate to either be enforced or get used to. You know, like the pitch clock, I've had to do it once, and that was in college in Summer League, where we went to a national tournament. They had a pitch clock, and that was the first time any of us had kind of done that. And I know I started the game I started, I didn't get the first pitch off, so I was ball one, and I hadn't even thrown a pitch yet. So, you know, those things right there, it's kind of hard, because baseball is one of those sports where you're not on a time clock.
Right.
And that would, you know, that's kind of stepping into a new area where that might be hard to implement. Now, whether it's going to happen or not, I'm not for sure. That would be something that would to me, be hard to do because, you know, there is just that natural thing of getting the pitch back and then, you know, kind of thinking what you want to do. Now, the walking around and standing and thinking and stuff, that's why we try to teach the kids to get used to knowing what you want to throw that pitch and the pitch after. Why are you throwing this pitch to get to that pitch? Just so they have a better idea where they can get the ball back, get on the mound, and get ready to go. And, we tell them that, it's an advantage for a fast worker on the mound because you don't give the hitter much time to think. And then that's when those guys are fixing their gloves, each pitch, and, taking a practice swing and doing all that. So, there again, some people say, well, now it's all against the hitters and the pitchers don't have anything. So, it's going to be kind of hard to get something on both sides working where everybody's going to agree to it and where it's actually going to work and not take away from the natural flow of the game.
Now, your son Kyle's in the Blue Jays organization. How often does he reach out to you for advice when it comes to pitching? I mean, it must be a unique situation for you. You're a former major league pitcher, you're a pitching coach now, and then you have a son whom you want to see succeed.
Right. We talk throughout the season and even during the off season and stuff. And he'll kind of, if I'm not able to kind of see him pitch here or there, he'll kind of fill me in. But it's one thing. I told him, I'm going to throw some ideas out to you. I said, but it's kind of hard when I'm not there actually watching and seeing and being able to talk to you at that time. And I told him that you're going to have a lot of different pitching coaches and stuff, and it's one thing you're going to have to learn to, talk with them and figure things out. And I don't want to interfere with that because I'm not on that team, and
right.
He is your coach and stuff. And I just told him, that's one thing with those guys, you're going to have to talk to, and both sides have to trust each other. And I said, I can throw ideas out to you if you're having problems with something. And a lot of times it's more, I might talk to him more about the mental part or, thinking and things like that.
And then finally, of your former big league teams, the Yankees, Pittsburgh, Houston, White Sox, and Baltimore, which do you think will go furthest this rapidly approaching season?
Actually, the White Sox and the Orioles, White Sox have done some good things this offseason. So, I haven't paid much attention to what the Yankees have done, but I really like, what the White Sox and Orioles have done lately and in the off season. So it'll be interesting to see what those teams, how they end up doing.
All right. Well, Doug Drabek, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with us today.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too.